I don't know if you know, but Refundit is a very strong Israeli startup that won the first startup competition, and before a year, thanks to the UNWTO startup competition, they met the investor that is Amadeus, and they raised 9.8 million euro before a year. So to me, this is crucial. To us inside the UNWTO, it's crucial to help entrepreneurs to act as bridge or as doors opener to, of course, to mind that gap and to promote this innovative ecosystem. So Siv, the floor is yours. We would like to know your experience, how to raise 9.8 million before a year. I see a lot of investors here. I see at least 20 of my colleagues from the venture capital community. So, Siv, you're more than welcome. The UNWTO and Wakalua is your house. But please, let's give him a warm applause, not only because he's a winner, but also he's an active friend of the house. So, Siv, whenever you want, we will look for the other microphone, but if you don't mind to start there.
Okay, so first of all, good morning everybody, and it's truly a very big pleasure to be here.
Okay, Siv, sorry, I know you can't stand still, so that's okay.
Okay, very nice. So it's truly a very big pleasure to be here today, and thank you guys for inviting me, because this year with the competition has been very, very substantial for Refundit, and it's important for us to tell you about it. And I think that what you guys are doing is fantastic and no words. So quickly a word about Refundit. We're an Israeli startup founded 2.5 years ago by myself and by my partner Uri Levine, who's the founder of Waze and a serial entrepreneur. What we do is we're revolutionizing the very, very painful world of VAT refunds for tourists, a broken industry of 26 billion euros per year, which is bad for the tourist, terrible experience, bad for governments and bad for retailers. Through a full digitalized process, we are creating real value for governments, for retail, and for the tourists. This is what we do. So I don't know if you know the statistics, but 7 out of 1,000 startups don't go bankrupt. Doesn't mean that they all have huge successes, but the statistics are very tough. In other words, being a startup is really, really, really difficult. And being a disruptor in the world is difficult. You encounter a lot of cynicism, a lot of negativity. People tell you that you're not going to succeed. It's very difficult to obtain capital, to obtain support, to obtain recognition. It's a huge challenging journey upwards. So for Refundit, about 1.5 years ago, Liat Shacham, who's here, who's the head of the Israeli Economic Mission here in the embassy and does a lot of work with Israeli startups here, introduced us to the competition that was just starting to build itself. And we signed up, and an amazing journey began for Refundit. When you're a startup, along your journey, you look for anchors. You look for supporters that can help you jump a few steps in the ladder, that can help you move a little faster upwards. And this is what this competition has done for us. Through the competition, and then after winning the competition, we have received amazing support by the United Nations World Tourism Organization. First of all, Secretary General Polo Likashvili himself has supported us with opening some doors with governments around the world. And in fact, I want to mention our first conversation ever, because you said something to me that has become a little bit of our logo. Secretary said, you guys are a social startup. Why? Because one of the problems in the process today is that the smaller tourists or the lower socioeconomic tourists purchasing the small businesses cannot get the refund. Small, medium businesses don't know how to deal with this. And that statement of being a social startup is something that stuck with us. So we received amazing help from Secretary General himself. We have the relentless Natalia Bayona, who is a powerhouse, who is always supporting the startups, and that's quite amazing. Amazing exposure for us within the travel industry. No one knew us before the competition. Amazing exposure within the travel community. Amazing exposure with governments. We are working with governments to change the way they run the process right now, so we need this exposure. And very, very important, of course, amazing exposure with the investment community, the relevant investment community. After winning the competition during 2019, we had dialogues with several tens of travel investment channels. Some are corporate venture arms, some are VCs who focus on travel. This was all because of the exposure from the competition, period. We ended announcing about 3-4 months ago that we raised $9.8 million, or around to $10 million, led by Amadeus, but also with the involvement of Portugal Ventures, whom we also met through the competition. So the value is amazing. I want to thank you guys. You guys are doing an amazing, amazing job. I'm sure this is only going to grow. I want to congratulate the participants who are here today. You already won, my friends. And thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.